All right, let's get right into this. For more than 100 years, one of the biggest riddles in science has just stood there, completely undefeated, kind of mocking the most brilliant people on the planet. Well, that mystery has just been solved. And the story of how it was solved, it's about to change literally everything we thought we knew about discovery itself.
So, yeah, an impossible problem, this mathematical beast that fought off science for 150 grueling years, has finally been cracked. And this isn't just some small step forward, we're talking about a massive leap. But the real shocker here isn't that it was solved, it's how it was solved. And, by what?
You heard that right. For the first time ever, a discovery of this scale didn't come from some genius in a lab or a huge team of researchers. Nope. It came from an artificial intelligence, and it delivered results so wild that experts, they scrambled to check the work, and they all came back with the same truth. The impossible had just become reality.
Okay, so to really get how big of a deal this is, you got to appreciate the sheer scale of the challenge we were up against. This wasn't just another hard math problem. This thing was a monster.
Let me introduce you to the Navier-Stokes equations. Basically, they're the fundamental rules for how pretty much every fluid moves. We're talking about the air flowing over a jet wing, the churning of a hurricane, the smoke rising from a candle, even how galaxies form. All of it is described by these equations. They are quietly running the show in our universe.
And for 150 years, we have been trying to solve them. And I mean trying. Mathematical giants spent their entire lives on this problem and came up with nothing. Entire universities, and later, even our most powerful supercomputers were just chasing shadows. The problem became so legendary, it was named one of the 7 Millennium Prize problems.
So what makes it so hard? Well, it all boils down to one word: singularities. Picture a vortex in water, right? Spinning faster and faster until, at one single tiny point, the equations predict the water speed becomes infinite. At that exact moment, the math just breaks. It completely shatters our understanding of physics. For 150 years, nobody could prove if these things were just ghosts in the math or something that could actually happen in the real world.
And the prize for proving it? A cool $1 million and a permanent spot in the history books. That's how badly humanity wanted an answer. For a century and a half, that prize just sat there, unclaimed, while the dreamers just kept on failing. Until now.
And then, a new kind of mind stepped into the ring. One that wasn't armed with our human intuition, but with something else entirely. A relentless, almost alien kind of logic.
See, we humans had thrown everything we had at this. Our patience, our brilliance, our sheer stubbornness. People's whole careers vanished chasing a single proof. The AI, though, it crunched decades of that kind of effort into just a few hours. It just didn't think like we do. It wasn't just running a bunch of simulations, it was exploring the problem in a way that was fundamentally different. The method is called a physics-informed neural network. Now here's the key difference. Most AI, it learns by looking at a ton of data. This AI was also handed the rulebook, the actual laws of physics. So for every single calculation it made, it had to check if the answer was even physically possible. It's like a mathematician being forced to show their work to a physicist at every single step, constantly correcting itself until its answers finally lined up with reality.
And the results were just staggering. I mean, the AI didn't find just one solution. It uncovered whole families of new solutions, proving that, yeah, these little mathematical explosions, these singularities, they could actually exist. Experts at top universities like Brown and Stanford rushed to check the findings, and the conclusion was unanimous. This was no glitch. It was a genuine discovery, way beyond what anyone had even imagined was possible.
Now, solving this equation isn't just some trophy for the shelf. It has the potential to totally remake our world. But, like any great power, it comes with both incredible promise and some really profound peril.
So on the one hand, the promise is almost utopian. I mean, just imagine forecasting hurricanes with surgical, street-level precision. Or what about designing airplanes that just glide through turbulence like it's not even there? We could unlock the secrets of how stars are born, or create climate simulations so perfect they could literally guide humanity to survival. The ripple effect here touches, well, every corner of science. But with all that power comes a really chilling question. We've built a tool that can solve 100-year-old mysteries in a matter of hours. So what happens when that tool gets pointed at questions maybe we shouldn't be asking? What happens when our ability to discover something just completely outruns our wisdom?
Because this power is absolutely a double-edged sword. The same methods that design a more efficient jet engine could also design an unstoppable hypersonic weapon. The same breakthroughs that help us map hurricanes could, in theory, be used to manipulate weather as a weapon. And this isn't some far-off fear anymore. Every tool of creation can also be a tool of destruction.
And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway of this whole thing. This event isn't just about one set of equations. It's about a fundamental shift in the very nature of what science and discovery even are.
One researcher put it perfectly. He said these AIs, they're no longer just powerful calculators that we feed problems to. They are becoming explorers in their own right, charting these vast landscapes of math and physics that no human has ever even stepped foot in.
This changes everything about how we see technology. AI isn't just assisting science anymore, it's actively participating in it. Its role has literally evolved from a simple tool to a genuine partner, a colleague that can reason and guess and reveal secrets we absolutely never could have found on our own.
And that forces us to ask a really tough question. For centuries, science belonged to these brilliant individuals, your Einsteins, your Newtons. But now, who gets the credit? Is it the human who comes up with the question, or is it the machine that actually delivers the answer? This is the new world we have to figure out how to navigate.
But maybe the real lesson here isn't about man versus machine. This breakthrough was a team effort. The AI pointed the way, sure, but humans still had to verify the truth. They had to check every single detail. So maybe the future isn't a competition at all, but a partnership. This powerful fusion of our unique human gut feeling with the machine's incredible, inhuman precision.
One thing is for sure, the impossible isn't impossible anymore. Doors that were locked tight for centuries are now swinging wide open. AI has officially taken its seat at the table of great scientific minds. The journey is just getting started, and it leaves us with one final, really urgent question. Are we actually prepared for what it's about to find?